We will start off our evening with one of the most important traditions at a wedding reception, and that is the first dance. Before I introduce the first dance, I would like to share with you the love story of Jen and Andrew. It all began on the evening of December 10th, 2016. Andrew was at Marco's restaurant in St. Anne's to celebrate the birthday of a mutual friend of his and Jen. She's here tonight, yes, her name is Christine. Truth be told, Andrew might have only gone to this dinner because he knew that Jen might make an appearance. He didn't have high hopes, though, because she was a previous no-show at a Halloween party hosted by Christine earlier. Andrew was sitting with the boys, talking and having fun. That's when Jen walked in the door and caught his eye. Andrew remembers thinking, wow, she is even cuter than I remember. I need to bring my A game tonight. Jen sat down with the girls. Not too long after, she had moved down the table to sit with the boys and sat beside Andrew on his right. She spent the rest of the night laughing at Andrew's jokes. He knew there had to be something special happening because we all know how bad Andrew's jokes are. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jen has had many ear infections as a kid and is basically deaf in her left ear. At that dinner, Andrew was whispering all kinds of silly things into Jen's left ear, and yet she was still laughing at whatever she heard him saying. Toward the end of the dinner, Jen's hands were really cold, as they often are, and Andrew sneakily grabbed one of her hands under the table to keep it warm. They both realized that they didn't want the night to end. So after dinner, they returned to Andrew's condo, where they finished off a bottle of wine and stayed up laughing and talking until 5 in the morning. The funny thing is, the more they talked, the more they realized they didn't have anything in common. But it didn't matter. They simply loved each other's company. Andrew says that it was after that first night that he knew that Jen would be the one. After parting ways that Sunday morning, they had agreed to go out on a date the following Friday. The next day, Monday, they both couldn't wait until Friday. Jen called Andrew and invited him over for dinner that evening. Andrew accepted and ended up staying the night. And the next night. And the next. And every night since then. In the fall of 2017, Andrew was away on his quarterly business trip in the Maritimes. He was only gone for 5 days, but it was during this time that he realized he couldn't live without Jen. When Andrew returned from that trip, he immediately went out shopping for the ring. Today, many guys bring their future bride ring shopping, but not Andrew. He knew Jen was a girly girl who loved love. So, what could be better than a rose gold band with a heart-shaped diamond? It was now December 10th, 2017, their one-year anniversary. Andrew moved in with Jen at this point, and they had planned an evening in the Old Port with a dinner at Auberge Saint-Gabriel and a one-night stay at Hotel Saint-Sulpice to celebrate. Surely, Jen thought it was at some point during this outing that Andrew would propose, because they had already spoken about marriage a few times, but he didn't. It wasn't until they got back home the next day they pulled into the driveway, and Andrew said he had to pee. Andrew dashed into the house, leaving Jen to carry the bags. What she didn't know was that Andrew was placing her engagement ring inside Gary's terrarium on a branch with the artificial sun lamp hitting it just right so that the diamond would sparkle. Gary is their pet gargoyle gecko, and every day when Jen gets home before Andrew from work, she sends him a picture of where Gary is inside the terrarium. When Jen finally made it into the house, it only seemed natural for Andrew to ask, "Where's Gary today?" As Jen began to search, she paused and she began to cry. Andrew knelt on one knee and he and Gary proposed. Of course, Jen said yes. And family, I would now like to share with you exactly Jen ended her version of the love story. And I quote, "Andrew is the only one who keeps me grounded. He is the calm one when both of us need it. He makes me laugh all the time, even when I don't want to. He finds a way." We have this intense love story, and when people ask why I love him, my answer is, he gets me. I knew from the moment we met that he was the one for me. He knows me better than I know myself. He knows when I need to be left alone and when I need to pick me up. I love our Orange Theory workouts and that we are that fit couple. He is my soulmate. He is my Drew. I would now like to share with you exactly how Andrew ended his version of the love story. And I quote, "Jen is the perfect woman for me because she just is. I've always said that you don't quantify or qualify love, you just feel it. I love Jen because I do. George loved Louise because he did. They had 25 years between them, but their souls were meant to be. I understand love because I have witnessed it firsthand. Believe me when I tell you that Jen is my Louise. I love the way that she looks at me. I love the way that she smiles. I love the way that she laughs at my jokes. She is the right side to my equation, even though I am always right. She is my booger, and I will always pick her." Ladies and gentlemen, we all now get to become a part of Jen and Andrew's love story as they share their first dance as husband and wife together.